The Crypto Markets Update is presented by Grayscale, the world's largest digital currency asset manager.
Checking in on Bitcoin, the CoinDesk Bitcoin price XVX index is trading at 59,058. Bitcoin is down about 2%. The CoinDesk Ether price ETX index is at $4,160. ETH is down about 1.7%. And the new DFX CoinDesk DeFi index is trading at 553 points. DeFi is down almost 3% over the past 24 hours. Joining us now to discuss the crypto markets is Marc Lopresti, co-managing director and member of the board at Strategic Funds. Hello there, Marc. So Bitcoin is below that $60,000 psychological threshold. What's the new support and resistance?
Well, the important number for Bitcoin is 58.4. And as we're sitting here, we're getting really close to it. Similarly for Ethereum at 40.33. We think there's a lot of indicators of a continued bull market. We see what's happened recently in our mind as some profit taking following the regulatory rally that happened in the early fall. And a lot of the indicators that we're looking at see while we are testing these support levels that going into the end of November, we should see continued strength in Bitcoin and some of the other key cryptos.
Yeah, Marc, some of the leverage, as I said earlier in the broadcast, that some of the leverage has gone down since earlier on. Do you think that that's helping to create that support, or do you think that we'll see an increased leverage potentially on the upside over the next few months, or do you think it'll just kind of be just sort of inch its way up from the levels that you think will be the support here?
Well, to a good point that you made earlier, reduction in leverage smooths volatility. I think that's a good thing, not only for institutional, but for retail holders as well. I think that pattern will continue as we see less leverage usage, whether we inch or we sort of leapfrog along the way, as we've seen Bitcoin do. I think we're going to see continued upside. Looking at the fear and greed index and the holder index and all of these metrics that we use to determine medium-term price patterns do continue to indicate bullish sentiment.
So if you look at the price chart on CoinDesk, it's basically a sea of red. Even though all these coins are supposedly have different use cases and different functions and different communities, what's that about? Why is everything moving in tandem? I mean, shouldn't we be at a point of sophistication now where like these different coins have like different trajectories?
Yeah, what one would think, and that's a really, really good point. I would argue that apart from sort of a rarefied group of the top 10% or so, it starts to get hard to talk really about comparable use cases. And of course, Bitcoin in and of itself is in a class of one, as I often say on broadcasts like this. We did see in the beginning of the fall some breakaway of Bitcoin and the other cryptos not sort of correlating in tandem as we're seeing recently. I think as the market continues to become more sophisticated, as we continue to see the institutional inflows, particularly as it relates to Bitcoin, we saw a little bit of what I referred to as a flight to quality in Bitcoin in the beginning of the fall, which was a large part of what drove the upside price movement in Bitcoin. But I think you will start to see more a separation, if you will, and not that highly correlated price movement of crypto in general.
Do you think that this whole idea of profit taking, though, I mean, we're coming up towards the end of the year. Is there any reason for fund managers to take profits right now? Given that no one's really looking at realized profits, they don't really care so much as they just want to see what the returns are on December 31st. Do you think that what's the incentive to sell out here?
Yeah, I mean, listen, these are trends, great question. These are trends that are developing in real time here, right? When we talk about the asset management business around crypto, you don't have the same behavior patterns as you do with equity and traditional security related funds that have that, end of year selling and profit taking. I don't think we're not currently considering that as being a significant element of pressure on Bitcoin or other crypto price movements as we go towards the end of the year. But it'll be interesting to see as the asset management industry continues to mature around the crypto space.
What do you make of the meme coins and what they say about the overall crypto markets? I see SHIB is down almost 9%. Dogecoin is down about 3%.
Yeah, well, we tend to avoid those when it comes to our own portfolio. It's look, the meme, the Reddit revolution, as I like to call it, had its impact on equities as well as on crypto. I get asked this question a lot when I speak at conferences. We do a lot of speaking to retail investors at conferences. I give warnings about those kinds of coins because there's no fundamentals behind their price movement. It's driven entirely by the activity of the influencers and the Reddit rebellion. I think the deflation, the significant deflation that we've seen in Shiba is a long time coming. Maybe not in terms of crypto years, but we tend to stay away from that stuff.